We are here for the final day of the love series, day 14 of 14. We started with Emily Dickinson. We will end with Emily Dickinson, the greatest poet of all time. And the poem in question today is Wild Nights. Wild Nights. Welcome to Strip Coverlet, where we squeeze the bigger picture out of literature. I'm Adrian Ford, and we are here for another poetry discussion, which will appear in three separate playlists here on the channel. Number one being the poetry discussion playlist, number two being the Emily Dickinson playlist, and number three, of course, being the love series, 14 love poems in 14 days to celebrate Valentine's Day. We have had devotional love. We have had puppy love. We have had motherly love. We have had all sorts and representations of love in this series. But today, well, today we're going the adult route. We're going rated R. This is erotic love from Emily Dickinson, at least so it seems to me. Perhaps this is just wishful thinking. It cannot be neither. It can be neither confirmed nor denied. Perhaps Emily Dickinson and I had at one point been in a relationship, the best time of my life. But here we are talking about her poetry. Wild Nights reads as such. Wild nights, were I with thee, wild nights should be our luxury. Futile the winds to a heart in port, done with the compass, done with the chart. Rowing in Eden, the sea. Might I but more tonight in thee. Emily. So here's the interesting thing. I wanted to have a little bit of a different interpretation for this poem than I have had in the past. I don't know how many times I've talked about Wild Nights on this channel. It's in the Emily Dickinson playlist, however many times, because, well, it makes me harken back. But it is a very interesting poem in that it has so few words, but it says so much. So I wanted to see how exactly is it that this poem feels. Maybe phrasing is of the essence here, but no pun intended. How this poem feels so full, and I think it's because it really does have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Now, obviously, there are three stanzas here, but it's not just about the three stanzas. Let me do this. The first stanza is the promise. The second stanza is the application. Oh, maybe I should do that in a different color. Oh, that is a terrible... Microsoft, you got to get your stuff together, man. You make it so difficult. And then the third stanza here is the payoff. And when I say application, I do not mean applied something. I mean the application you turn in to get work. So the promise, wild nights, were I with thee, wild nights should be our luxury. That's the promise there, saying, hey, I mean, just putting it out there. If we were together, that hubba, be wild. It would be our luxury. Not expensive clothes, not good food. Those wild nights themselves would be the luxury. Just, putting it out there, keep it in mind. The second stanza is the application. And there's a couple of interesting things going on in this stanza that we have the third stanza to look forward to. So, futile the winds to a heart in port, done with the compass, done with the chart. So, a heart in port. The winds are the thing which moves a boat, right? You catch the wind in your sail in order to go where you want to go. Futile, the winds. Those winds do not matter. This heart is in port. I'm parked. I am parked right where I need to be. So much so am I parked that I am done with the compass and done with the chart. This is me saying, here's my application. This is what I bring to you. I bring to you a dedication that is absolute. I don't have to go anywhere. I'm dedicated. I don't need the winds. I do not need the wild world. I have our wild nights. I don't need what is out there. I don't need finding my way. I'm done with the compass. I'm done with the charts. I don't need to find anything. You have been found. You are my port. Then we have the payoff in this final stanza. Rowing in Eden, ah, the sea, might I but moor tonight in thee. So we've been told already that the compass and the chart are done for. But here's the thing, man. Rowing. Rowing. Why rowing? Rowing in Eden. Sort of the promised land, right? Rowing in the promised land. What does rowing look like? You've got an oar. You've got an oar. It's this, right? It's this. It's a back and forth repetitive motion. What does that look like? Certainly, you understand where this is going. You know what this motion is. This is the motion of erotic love. This in and out thrusting is talked about right in the first line of that final stanza. Rowing in Eden, thrusting in the promised land. Ah, the sea. Ah, the sea. All that water, all that wetness. Ah, the sea. All that rowing through the wetness. Might I but moor tonight? Might I pull inside tonight? Might I pull inside tonight in thee? Might I pull inside tonight in you? Emily, you rapscallion. Emily, you dirty, dirty, minded poet, you. So, when we look at this poem, part of the reason I think that it has lived so long, and this might be Emily Dickinson's most recognizable poem. Maybe not best known poem, but most recognizable poem. This, like I say all the time, Wild Nights, Wild Nights, Emily Dickinson with some of the greatest opening lines in all of literature, some of the greatest opening couplets in all of literature. It's often the second and third stanza that get Emily Dickinson in trouble with her readers. But Wild Nights, Wild Nights. You would be, I think, hard-pressed to find many literature connoisseurs in general that don't at least recognize that line. Wild Nights, Wild Nights. The poem, in my opinion, has lived so long because there is a three-step process here. There is the promise. There is this raising of the prospect. Hey, here's an idea. You like the Hubba Hubba, right? I mean, hey, who doesn't? Then there is the application. So, because you like that, let me just tell you that if it were us, You and I against the world. Well, in fact, we would be in lockstep. There would be no reason to go anywhere else. Not only would I take such good care of you that you wouldn't look anywhere else, but you know that you would take such good care of me that I wouldn't look anywhere else either. Who would need the compass? Who would need the chart? And then the payoff, the consummation of erotic love. Rowing in Eden, ah, the sea. Might I but more tonight in thee. That is all I have for this poetry discussion. If you like or appreciate what it is that I do here, hitting the like button really does help me out, as it tells YouTube to share this video with other literature lovers. If you find yourself here by chance but not design, literature is the only thing I talk about on this channel, dropping multiple videos every single week. There's poetry every Monday. And guys, we are through with the love series. But as always, I hope to have you back for the next one.